This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. So the appeals court in Antigua has ruled on Guryev's daughter's superyacht ownership claim. The Court of Appeal in Antigua has made a ruling in regards to ownership of the vessel believed to belong to Andrei Guryev. Yulia Guryeva Matlakov has claimed that she is in fact the owner of the superyacht, which was seized by the government of Antigua in April this year. Now, this is despite what the US believes, and pretty much everyone else, that her father, Mr. Andrei Guryev, is the actual beneficial owner. He is on the US sanctions list, whereas she is not. Now, the Antigua Observer says that the Court of Appeal ruled against her appeal of the High Court decision by Justice Renee Williams to refuse an injunction application. Now, the 80-metre or 265-foot superyacht was reported to have been abandoned in Antigua after the alleged owner Andrei Guryev was sanctioned in February last year. Crew were not paid, the bills were stacking up from local suppliers, companies, fuel, etc. Bills were not being dealt with. And in April, the government of Antigua changed their law to allow them to seize the yacht, which they said was a danger to shipping as it had been abandoned, 5 crew remaining on board, etc. In actual fact, the government of Antigua had a public auction which was streamed online, and the winning bid was $67 million from the American former Google CEO, I think he was, Eric Schmidt. However, the sale later fell through when the legal challenges came, and both the highest bidder and the second highest bidder both dropped out of that sale. Now, Eric Schmidt eventually went on to buy Motor Yacht Kismet, which is now named Motor Yacht Whisper. Now, the claim by Guryev's daughter that she owned the vessel only came after the government of Antigua successfully lobbied the US to remove the sanctions placed on the vessel. Until then, nobody had claimed the yacht, despite the government taking action required by law to find the owner. We contacted Mr. Guryev's lawyers earlier in the year asking if he indeed owned Alfa Nero and Motor Yacht Luminosity, which is another yacht which has been so-called abandoned in similar fashion in Montenegro. His UK lawyers came back to us at the time with a very short statement saying Mr. Guryev does not own or control either vessel. Now, if you think about it, if his daughter owned that vessel, then you'd think that the answer would have come back that Mr. Guryev doesn't own the yacht, but his daughter does, and here's the contact details for her lawyers or something like that, wouldn't you? You would if you knew if your daughter owned a car and the police called you and said, "Do you own that car?" You wouldn't say, "No, I don't own it." You'd say, "It's my daughter's car." Pretty much every yacht is technically owned by a company. And there are legitimate reasons for this, to do with tax, payments for services, etc. However, a big reason seems to be to obscure the ownership and give yacht owners a plausible deniability. Like, we often get letters from companies that say that they are the owner of a yacht, but that, if you look into it, that company is owned by a trust, and the owner of the trust, or the person in charge of the trust, is the person that we said it was the owner in the first place. So that's how they do it. Or sometimes they put the trust in a family member's name, as Mr. Usmanov did with Dilbar, it's in his sister's name, or an old friend, etc. So we did a video recently that explains how the yacht ownership is structured. If you want to see that, we'll put a link in the top corner. It's a short video, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Now, if you want to know who the ultimate beneficial owner of a yacht is, ask the captain. The captain knows who that ultimate beneficial owner is. They may have paperwork that says, the company name of the owner, but they also know who the ultimate beneficial owner is, as will most of the crew. The legal battle of this yacht could go on for years, according to the lawyer in Antigua representing Mr. Guryev's daughter. Dr. David Dorset, the lawyer who represents Ms. Guryeva Motlakov, said there is a hearing in December which is to determine whether certain evidence that the government has put forward in the defense of its case is proper evidence. I suspect a substantive hearing in the High Court is not going to be possible until maybe June of next year. And then, of course, you will have to see how that decision goes. If there is an appeal, that may take another year. And if there are further appeal to the Privy Council, that may take another year or 8 months. So it could be going on for at least 2 more years. And meanwhile, the struggling Antigua government continues to pay a weekly bill of $28,000 US for crew and other costs. And the likelihood of selling the yacht while this is going on is very slim, isn't it? Probably none. In fact, you have to wonder who would want to take the risk of buying this yacht, even if the courts in Antigua do make a final decision to say that the government is able to sell it. All right, our latest Q&A has just been posted on the Patreon channel. It says, can crews who have enabled going dark on AIS and not transmitting AIS have negative outcomes in the future, e.g. certifications not renewed, fines, etc.? If you would like to see it along with the Atlantic vlog crossing over to the Pacific, join us on patreon.com/esysman. You'll find behind the scenes videos and extras not published on YouTube, including behind the scenes videos from our recent trip to Italy, Monaco and France. We also recently made a video showing how we make the Super Yacht News videos, as well as the Patreon chat series. And you'll also get early access to YouTube features advert free. Don't forget to check out our Super Yacht News channel. If you type @superyacht-news into YouTube, you will find the channel there. There's also a link below in the description of this video. This channel is all of the goodness of these videos chopped up into smaller bite-sized chunks. We also now publish the full video. The one that you're watching right now is also published on that channel too. So if you're just here for Super Yacht News, then maybe you can subscribe to that channel. And guys, if you've got any information about any of the stories here or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch. You can get us in the email address in the ticker tape. You can get us on the About page of the YouTube channel, on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, on Twitter, and on Threema. Be sure to like this video, very important for the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye. Scott, how do you feel about the Loon channel? That's the motor yacht. There's a motor yacht. It used to be called Icon. It's now changed its name to Loon, and they've got their own YouTube channel. Do you watch it? Do you think it's good for the industry? Does it affect what you're doing in any way? And would you like to see more yachts have their own YouTube channel? And what's your assessment of the owner's thoughts